Hey, this is Manuela. I just wanted to share something with you real quick before I forgot. I was reading or listening to my audio Bible this morning, and I listened and read the whole book of Revelation. And when I was listening to Revelation 7, I was trying to pay attention to the tribes of Israel that were sealed, with 12,000 from each tribe. And I thought it was kind of odd that they weren't in the order of their birth. Reuben is the oldest, and then Simeon and Levi and Judah, and, it goes on. But that's what I was listening for. But I noticed that, they were all not in order, obviously, and I noticed that Revelation 7 verse 6 said, and the tribe of Joseph, 12,000 were sealed, and it went on. And I've always thought that the tribe of, Manasseh and Ephraim were included under the tribe of Joseph. But then in Revelation verse 8, it says 12,000 from the tribe of Manasseh were sealed. So if Ephraim and Manasseh were both included with Joseph, why did it mention Manasseh again in verse 8? So I got to thinking about in Genesis Genesis 48 verse 6, or actually, the story is in Genesis 48 where Jacob is, Joseph brings Manasseh and Ephraim to Jacob to have him bless them. And when he does, he put his hands, I'm getting lunch ready for my kids tomorrow. But anyway, he put his right hand, or when he went to put his hands, the right hand would go on the eldest to symbolize the bigger blessing, I think. I have to look that up to be sure. But when he was about to put his hand on the boys, he crossed his hands over and he put his right hand of blessing on Manasseh and his left hand on Ephraim. And for some reason, Joseph got upset about it, but Jacob said, leave it be. This is the way I mean for it, because Ephraim or Manasseh is going to be greater than Ephraim. And then right after that, in verse 6, he says, he tells Joseph that he's going to adopt Ephraim and Manasseh as his own, and then any kids that he had after that would be his own. So, what this means then is that Joseph is his own tribe. Ephraim and Manasseh were included in the tribes of Jacob, but Joseph's children that he had after Ephraim and Manasseh would be of the tribes of Joseph, of his own tribes. So, and obviously, maybe, those children that grew up then were raised as Egyptian royalty, because Joseph was Egyptian royalty as the vizier, the Pharaoh's vizier. So, then what this means in Revelation 7 verse 6 is that those tribes that were left in Egypt that were Joseph's son, not Ephraim and Manasseh, are the tribes of Joseph. And since Manasseh was included in Revelation 7 in verse 8, but Ephraim was not included, that means, just like I know everyone has noticed, and I've seen a lot of teaching on the tribe of Dan not being included in Revelation 7. But if you look at this in this light, in the light of Genesis 48, verse 6, that Joseph has his own tribes, his own children after Ephraim and Manasseh, Ephraim is not included in Revelation 7. So that means Ephraim was not, the 12,000 from Ephraim were not sealed. So I've always heard that Dan is not sealed. Well, Ephraim isn't either. So if you consider that Ephraim is England, Manasseh is supposed to be, I'm sorry about the dogs, I have a crazy family, but Manasseh is the Manasseh is England, and no, Manasseh is the United States, and Ephraim is supposed to be England, or the Britain, and then Dan is like Scandinavia and places like that, further north of Great Britain. So there's something to think about. Dan, there's a lot of different things that say that maybe Dan is, maybe the Antichrist might come from Dan, or something is strange about the tribe of Dan. Well, that was hidden, that Ephraim, there's something peculiar about Ephraim too, or Ephraim, Britain is the Queen of England, and there's a lot of, well, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but something interesting, the tribe of Dan, there's a channel on YouTube, Enter the Stars, that is very, hi, I'm standing in front of the window, my husband's waving at me, making a video. So anyway, the tribe of Dan, there's something peculiar about it. Watch Enter the Stars. And I better let you go because things are starting to get kind of busy around here. I've got supper about to be on the table. So anyway, check out Enter the Stars to look at all those videos that he talks about the tribe of Dan. Well, I think there's something peculiar about Ephraim too. Well, thanks. This was Manuela. Bye.